Hi guys, welcome to part 6. Today we're going to discuss a question I get a lot. Why are MG42 so expensive? So we'll just jump right in. A vast majority of the kits you see are missing the whole rear end of the receiver. They still want $2,500 for these kits, but they're missing the whole rear of the receiver. So you could go the US receiver route or US repair sections route and literally have to cut every feature, machine all the stuff, machine your charging handle slots, install your ratchet plates, and literally all of the features, install your buffer tabs, everything that goes into the rear of this receiver. There's no profitability there. The same goes with the front. The shroud kits that are available, none of this stuff is machined. None of these internal components are installed, including these internal tabs that keep the barrel straight in there. Rear sights aren't installed. Nose bushings aren't installed. None of that stuff. So when you start breaking down shop hours, paying labor to do that kind of stuff, it doesn't make sense for a shop. Okay, so what does that mean? It means you're left with finding kits like this one that have all the receiver pieces. These kits are drying up. These kits are going to cost you $3,000 to $5,000 just for the kit. So there's a big chunk right there just in your parts kit to get to an MG42. Then you've got a barrel. Most kits don't come with barrels. The barrel is going to cost you $500 for a quality barrel. So you're at 3 to 5, let's call it $4,000. That's 45. For quality BRP internals is going to run you about another 800 to 1,000 bucks, I think somewhere in there. So you're at 5,500 bucks, and you haven't even built the gun yet. A lot of guns, unlike this one, a lot of kits, I should say, have a nose that's cut pretty foobar like this. It requires extensive work and a new nose bushing. New nose bushing is going to cost you another $100 or so, plus the time and the labor to fix the nose so that it's buildable. Beyond that, a lot of the kits have rails that have been cut or bent or messed up in a fashion that they can't be used. So you've spent $4,000 on the kit and $500 on a barrel and $1,000 there. You're at $100 there. Finding a quality set of rails, it's going to run you over $100, $150, sometimes more than that. Now they've got the MG3 ones that are NOS. None of the holes are drilled. They're too thick. They require machining. They require a lot of work to be used. So you add that labor in, or you're finding a good set of rails. You're up over $6,000 already just in parts. Some kits, you're going to want to do a 7.62 conversion. So now you're finding top cover feed tray, an additional caliber barrel, yada, yada, yada. Or you bought a kit that came with a barrel that's no good, like this one here. This guy had to buy a whole another barrel. Or you accidentally bought this barrel separate from your kit, and this barrel is no good. So now you just sunk that cost. Your kit could be missing a bolt. A quality bolt is going to run you $200 or so. There's a couple $100. You got rivets. You've got any of the miscellaneous small parts your kit's missing. A lot of times up here in your nose, you'll be missing sight components, internal springs, yada, yada, yada. All of these little components add up and they're all getting harder to find. any of the guys on places like Gunbroker want a premium for these parts. Top covers are running a couple $100 these days, which is crazy, but it is what it is. Like I said, guys with missing receiver kits want close to $3,000. I don't know how often they sell them, but that's what they're asking for. So you're up $6,000-7,000 in parts, and all you got is this: it's parts. Well, we charge $32.50 to build one. So suddenly you're at $10,000 before you've ever even started to weld or any sort of build or put any rounds downrange. So why, when we have builds that come available, are they 10 grand? That's why. Prices just keep going up with the parts, and every time we build one, there's one less to be built. So this particular kit's a 4259, one of the easier kits to build. But these kits, I mean, they're running close to 4 grand when you can find them, if you can find them. You want an original World War II kit, they're running you in excess of 4 grand to 5 grand, depending on markings and how many of the actual components in here are World War II marked and that kind of stuff. Sometimes you get a kit, charging handle's bent or broken or messed up in a manner that it needs to be replaced. Well, there's a $100 bill. Bottom line, they're not cheap to build. They're not cheap to find parts for. We've been building these things for 10 years, and our build fee has gone up. We haven't raised it in several years now, but as labor gets more expensive every year, I mean, everybody wants a raise every year, right? So I have a full-time 40-hour-a-week welder. He expects to be paid a livable wage and get a raise every year. So why are they so expensive? That's why. Can you find them cheaper? Sure. There's guys out there who will slap together a US receiver for you with no kind of quality control, ship it out the door, and then ghost you as soon as you receive the gun. How do I know? Well, I get those emails all the time. So building US receivers, we've not found to be any sort of profitable. The amount of labor it takes to do one of these versus an all US stampings unfinished receiver, even what they consider a 100% receiver, is going to take you weeks of time to build. Well, when your gunsmithing department burns $2,000 a week in payroll labor between myself and my welder, it takes me 3 to 4 weeks to build one of these. I've burned $6,000 to $8,000 just in labor. How can I be profitable building those? So that's one of the reasons we don't build them. But why are they so expensive? Because they're expensive. If these kits were $100, you know, and parts were cheap and whatever, sure, we could build them for cheaper. But in order to be a profitable venture that's here and continues to offer services, we have to A, make a livable wage, and B, the shop has to turn a profit to be able to continue to invest in machines and rebuilding equipment and keeping the lights on. So that's why they're so expensive. If you want us to build a kit, it 100% has to have all of the original receiver pieces or some original receiver pieces from different guns that cuts overlap, so we can make one whole receiver out of them. We do that sometimes. Just keep in mind, if it's 4 different receivers and we've got to spend the time to make one receiver out of a bunch of different sections, it is more expensive to build those. Or if you've bought a dummy gun that has all original receiver sections, it's going to cost you the money to bust that dummy back down into a kit so we can build it. I mean, that's labor costs money. And if it takes me a week to bust your dummy gun receiver back down before we can rebuild it, I can't just eat that cost. So MG42s are expensive. It is what it is, unfortunately. But hopefully that gives you an idea on why. We get guys that ask all the time, "Oh man, I thought that seems really expensive." Yeah, these kits aren't 900 bucks anymore. They were, and when they were 900 bucks, our retail price was cheaper. But with the price of kits and the availability of kits being almost non-existent anymore, it is what it is. So hopefully that answers that question. Y'all have a good day.